Helen and Sophie are the mother and daughter team accused of running an elaborate love scam. They're accused of luring in men across Australia and taking $500,000. Detectives are concerned it could just be the tip of the iceberg.
They know the right strings to pull and the right words to use to get people right where they want them to be.
I'm from CIB, we're here for a search warrant, okay?
They make people believe that they're investing in a future. They're not just throwing money down the drain that they're never going to see.
We have a search warrant. The warrant relates to fraud offences.
Police raid two houses on the Gold Coast looking for evidence to allege a mother and daughter are running a dodgy dating agency.
What's that money?
Large sums of cash.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's unusual for someone to have $79,000 in a pillowcase in one place and I think 42 in a safe in another.
Detective Sergeant Matt Hogan is heading the investigation.
From a policing perspective, if you see large sums of cash, we will generally think we're on the right track.
And, well, it's hard to draw conclusions. Obviously, looking at the standard of the property and the way they were living, whatever they were doing comfortably.
I'd certainly agree with that assessment, yes.
This amount here, $30,000, third of the first 23.
This investigation started when a 70-year-old man from here in far north Queensland went to police. Not long after, a second complaint emerged from another 70-year-old in southeast Queensland. Detectives investigated and now allege both men are the victims of fraud, having lost collectively close to $400,000.
One of the gentlemen ended up out $343,500. The other gentleman out $42,000.
And so you're alleging the people who paid this agency money got nothing for what they've spent?
Absolutely nothing.
Police will allege the two men responded to the same ad published in different regional newspapers, where a 50-year-old woman is looking for a soulmate.
New to the area, widow of 6 years, 50 years old, open to any age, slim build.
Perhaps lonely, vulnerable older people themselves,
right,
who might empathise.
Yeah, slim, blue-eyed, blonde, happy. Sounds too good to be true.
It does, yes, and when things seem too good to be true, they usually are.
Police will allege when the men called the woman looking for a soulmate, they got the dating agency run by the mother and daughter called the Coaching Factory.
Then they get told that in order to meet the person, that they will have to join up and pay a fee to join the dating agency, and that starts the whole ball rolling.
And from there, it's alleged they managed to extract other money from them.
Yes, that's right.
We concluded the search warrant. Okay, so you're all detained. However, you are now under arrest in relation to fraud.
At the first house, police arrest 29-year-old Sophie Dmitrijevsky. Then her mother, 52-year-old Helen Dmitrijevsky, is charged after raiding the second property.
You're under arrest for counts of fraud if the net yield exceeds $30,000.
Police say both men were connected to a woman calling herself Kate, who induced them to send her money. The man from North Queensland allegedly even met Kate on a trip to the Gold Coast.
It's certainly what we'll be alleging, and we'll further allege that, well, that's not a no. It's part of our investigations have found.
Hello, Chris Allen from A Current Affair, looking for Sophie Dmitrijevsky.
Not home at the moment, sorry.
Our attempts to contact Sophie Dmitrijevsky and her mother Helen were unsuccessful. We wanted to ask her about the fraud charges she's facing, to see if she'd like to say anything about that. The mobile numbers listed for the women also not working.
But the mobile number you have dialed has been disconnected.
So you got a warrant under your name. So I'm gonna place you under arrest by the virtue of the warrant is in relation to some fraud matters.
A 52-year-old man, Murray Hopper, was also charged in relation to the alleged fraud. And during the raids on the mother and daughter's homes, police claim they found these lists of names with cash amounts beside them.
Yeah, there's these records that we have here that certainly look like bookkeeping. Yeah.
That look like large amounts of money.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. So ledgers of payments made that suggest to us that we believe there to be more victims out there.
And police say evidence gained during the raids has led them to a third man in his 50s in Western Australia, who detectives allege was defrauded of more than $111,000, bringing the total alleged fraud to almost $500,000. And anyone who has responded to an ad like this or had dealings with the coaching factory are urged to contact police.
We certainly want to make it as easy for people as possible to come forward, and we expect there may be victims Australia-wide. So a good starting point will be online. Failing that, go into your local police station and talk to them.
And police are keen to hear from anyone who's had dealings with Helen and Sophie and their coaching factory dating site. If you do have any information, please call Crime Stoppers 1800 333 000. That's 1800 333 000.